Common IGN-L. So IGN made this totally misleading tweet about Persona 4 Golden, where people are installing a mod that turns the game to look like the original PlayStation 2 game. Hold on a second, Golden is not a remake, it's a remaster. There's a huge difference between Persona 3 Portable and Persona 3 Reload. This is a misleading tweet because what the mod does is to restore the fog effects that were missing from the PS2 version. Unfortunately, Atlus isn't the best in terms of making PC ports. They are steadily improving though. Thankfully, the community has mods that give all sorts of essential enhancements. I played the original PS2 version and Golden as well. I do agree that the PS2 version has a more distinct visual aesthetic with a much thicker fog, but I also like Golden's visual style as well. It's a mod. You can install it if you like, but this tweet is misleading, and it's one to be put among many. But say what you want about IGN-Ls, at least they're not going to full religious fundamentalist boomer mode to Atlus games, like this doofus over here. This post is stupid.
I call everyone on who finds this subreddit to boycott Atlus and their Megami Tensei games.
Why? Is this your first time seeing a Shin Megami Tensei game? Or for that matter, any game in general? Apparently because the game's about killing gods and that's bad for religion? That's a stupid argument. I'm a Hindu, and Hindu deities are common on any Megami Tensei game. Shout out to Barong and Rangda, Balinese represent. You should have been grateful that in the grand scheme of the whole series, most of the Judeo-Christian deities are the ones that are on the higher tiers of demons in the game. But I guess you can't do that because God is good and Satan is bad. The game starts off with God is dead and was killed by Lucifer the Satan. First off, Lucifer and Satan are two completely different demons, so you haven't played the games at all. Second, that's the premise of the game. The world is screwed by Lucifer. You must save it. That's not an endorsement. That's like saying Schindler's List endorses concentration camps. Yeah, these complaints are just way too gaming related. Why can't we make it political in some way? Gaming is getting worse lately.
Games aren't becoming more woke.
Yes, they are. No, they're not. Honestly, it depends on what you find woke.
Metroid came out in '86. If it came out today, would the main character being a blonde bad bitch with big shoulders upset you?
No, Metroid 86 doesn't reveal Samus until the end. Samus is only a blonde bad bitch with big shoulders with her suit.
Now also, and this might sting, you probably don't feel comfortable gaming anymore.
I said this a while back, it's not that I don't feel comfortable gaming anymore, it's that I have higher standards for gaming. There are many games released every year, but they're not that impressive at all. The one game that genuinely impressed me with the sheer amount of effort being put into it was the Project Brutality mod for Doom. I'll stretch that to Doom mods in general.
Not saying it's the case for everyone, but looking inward sometimes might give you more answers than blaming outward.
Hey, I endorse self-improvement, but that doesn't mean that our criticisms for others are wrong or invalid. Before we get to the next hoopla, here's a dog. Also, huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your names among these legends, then check out the links down below. Just $1 and you have supported this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much. And now, let's talk about the gays. I don't know what this is supposed to prove. Someone asked if this is accurate. It's a photo of a woman dressed in male gaze and female gaze. The funny thing is, when people online were asked about these two images, they find the female gaze more attractive than the male gaze. I don't know about you guys, but I have never asked women to look pretty for my own sake. The only women that I have ever asked to look pretty are the fictional ones I created in character creations, or the ones I mod to my liking. I hate the concept of the male gaze because that implies that women look pretty just for the sake of men. Most women look pretty for themselves. That's all there is to it. Personally, I thought she looked fine on both. That's just me, but women have their own standards of pretty that they set for themselves. So even if I think they look pretty, they think they look ugly. You're insecure. Don't know what for. Now, I do have to say that while most men find most women attractive, there is a subset of men that are overly critical of how women look. I'm not saying they don't exist, I'm saying they're critical towards fictional characters. A couple people sent me this comic because of hypocrisy. Male horny bad, women horny good. I don't see this comic that way. What I see is men have high standards of sexualizing fictional women, and women have low standards of sexualizing fictional men. That's pretty accurate. A lot of fictional characters can be fully clothed and women will still faint over them. Men, on the other hand, are very critical of how their fictional women look. I can't blame them. Some of them just look odd. But even to the characters that I think look pretty and gorgeous, there are people who didn't like them. Personally, I think these two attitudes are perfectly valid. Being horny to characters is perfectly fine. Being critical of their looks is also fine. Both the West and the East have their fair shares of attractive female characters, but only the Eastern companies that aren't afraid of pushing the boundaries of attractive women. Most Western companies must play them safe or risk getting cancelled by the mob. It's one thing for fiction to have attractive characters, it's another thing for fiction to be made with a certain group of demographic. I do not get this attitude. This person doesn't like to consume media that is not women-centered. Okay? Why?
Because everything men produce is violence. Their porn is violence. Their video games are violence. Their actions movies are violence. Their sports are contaminated by an air of violence. Or boring.
There are plenty of non-violent stuff that are made by men. A lot of romance stories are written by men. They can be romantic. They can be funny. I'm not sure why you describe every single one of them as violence. This also implies that women cannot be violent.
I truly can't read a book that's not written by a woman.
Okay, I'm curious. How do you know if a book is written by a man or a woman without finding out who the author is? How can you say that a work of fiction is written by a guy or a girl just on their writing? What are the telltale signs that something is written by a guy? I don't know, but this is the internet. You're free to be a bigot all you like. Speaking of relationships, I do not understand why people are going above and beyond with their relationship choices. This is totally abnormal.
Why do people think 7 exes is a lot?
Because it is a lot. How long have you been dating them? What makes you break up with them? To me at least, I see someone with a lot of exes as someone who cannot commit to a long-term relationship. They treat relationship as a game and they love to play around with people's hearts. I don't think that's okay. By the way, the LP is 16 years old. That's even worse. The part where I said that you're treating relationships as a game makes even more sense now. Hopefully the people that you're dating are not over the age of 18. I mean, teen romance happens all the time, but not even Ramona Flowers has 7 evil exes at 16.
You don't even freaking know me, bro.
I know enough. You're treating relationships as a game. You're not taking it seriously because you're obviously a minor. You're playing with a lot of people's hearts and wasting their time.
Call child services. Have this little psychopath committed.
And finally, let's get back to fictional characters. Well, someone is blind.
I love NSO, but I'm starting to realize how terrible K-Angel or Amy is.
NSO is Needy Girl Overdose, or Needy Streamer Overload, a game where you are playing as a manager for a girl who becomes a VTuber online. As the game goes on, she gets more insane. She might do drugs, cut herself, even verbally and mentally abuse you.
The fact I'm only realizing it now is probably not a good thing.
It's not a good thing, you just realized that. Day 1, she already revealed how antisocial she is and how much she hates adults and proper jobs.
Why are we idolizing a SHOTACON?
What does that have to do with anything? Her liking fictional boys is less of a concern than her extremely abusive and narcissistic behavior.
I do know it's just a game and shouldn't be taken that seriously, but a lot of people, especially younger people, do.
Well, yes, that's what their parents are for. But unfortunately, a lot of parents don't get parenting lessons these days. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more. Don't forget to check out my ABB Show stream channel, link down below. Go subscribe as always. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.